Hey there, welcome to the garden. I'm out here today to do chores. We're gonna do a bunch of garden chores. I realized, of course, I got out here and then I was like, I didn't bring my my clippers or my twine. I need to weed, but I also need to tie up a bunch of the things. Well, and I say a bunch, but a few things. I need to tie up the tomatoes back in there and then the roses and tomatoes up front. So we're gonna walk back to the house and get my clippers and my twine. I'm also gonna grab a harvest basket because we've got some green beans. This is actually a bit of a momentous day for the garden because I think we're gonna actually be able to do the first real harvest of green beans. So I planted a bunch of bush green beans. I am blanking. Hopefully my label is still out there because I'm blanking on the variety. But they've been looking really healthy. And I was noticing today when I was watering that I think they're actually ready to be harvested. So that's going to kind of be my treat for myself. If I can get all the weeding and tying and staking and so forth done, then we can harvest. So first let's tie up the Juliet tomatoes. It is still pretty warm out, so I'm kind of taking it easy, and I'm not going to try to work too fast, but the weeds are just out of control, and we're going to get possibly some thunderstorms, I think, within the next day or so, and I want to get these weeds taken care of before we get another rainstorm that helps them grow. So I am using twine to tie up my tomatoes. That is what I have found works best for me. One of the biggest reasons is that twine it decomposes back into your garden. I find that it holds up for a season. It's not usually something you can use for 2 seasons, but it's just jute twine, so it's just a natural product. It's gonna just turn back into soil. If I don't clear it out, I can throw it in the compost pile if I need to. And for me, that's just simpler because when you're at the end of the season and you're tearing out your plants, it can be a little fussy to try to get the clips off and stuff. So you can see some of these Juliet tomatoes are kind of blushing. Juliet tomatoes are some of my favorite tomato varieties. And this year, because all of my soil is still building, I'm going to be trying to use the chop and drop method. So anytime I'm pruning the plants, trimming the plants, all of their leaves and stuff, I'm just going to chop it back up into sort of mulch size pieces, and it's going to go right back into the bed. So rather than doing a compost, a particular compost bed in one area, this just whatever's in the bed is going to feed the soil, or at least start to. I mean, it's not going to, I probably still am going to need to compost and take care of these beds, but this is all just going to dry up to a crisp anyways, and it'll help go back into the soil that, it came from. This plant is looking a little rough. This is the one that I had in a container up on the patio, and I just decided to give it a new life out in the garden. So I'm hoping that it'll kind of take off and thrive. Of course, this week has been very hard for plants. It has been very hot, and so it's not the most ideal week for, especially for tomato plants. They don't like it super, super hot. It's been, 100 degrees. That's a little more. I'm not going to do a lot of pruning on it as far as taking it down to a single leader or anything like that. I'm going to let it be bushy for right now because I've got room in this. I've got this big, huge tripod here, so I've got room. There's no need to take it back. I'm just taking off the lower leaves that are looking diseased, and this will also help, I think, to push the plant into growing more leaves and taking off. All right, chop and drop. You wouldn't want to do chop and drop, of course, if you had any major I don't know, diseases or something that you noticed was happening, but I don't think that's happening. All right, so that is done. I'm gonna take there's a couple leaves on the daisy that I could just clean up. Probably not completely necessary, but you know what? While I'm out here tidying, I'm also going to deadhead these Bidens that I have here that are really pretty, and I just think that they kind of need a little bit, they probably want to be deadheaded, and I just have not been keeping up on that. So I'm trying not to take any buds off while I do this, just literally take off the spent blooms. And I'm gonna throw them in the bed. This could lead to volunteer plants. So that's the thing with like chop and drop, I guess. If if you're putting the seed heads, like you're deadheading the seed heads of flowers and you're putting it into your bed, I suppose you could probably end up, or I may end up with some unexpected volunteer Bidens, but I'm not gonna worry about that at the moment. I may not continue to do this, and it certainly with a very invasive plant or something that's gonna just be super vigorous, I might not do that. I'd be kind of shocked. Now I also have this Calibrachoa in here. It's not looking super fabulous. It kind of had a hard time with the move, but I'm actually gonna take the ends off, and that's just gonna help as it starts regrowing to encourage the plant to be a bit more bushier and just sort of like stimulate some growth, hopefully. Again, hopefully these plants are gonna start settling into this new container. They just got moved and it's been hot and it's been a lot for them. So hopefully now we're gonna have like, they're gonna just kind of move on, grow up and fill out. All right, time to weed. I'm gonna put some gloves on. I feel like gloves actually help me be a little bit more bold with my weeding, and I just feel like I get a little bit better job done if my hands are covered. And I'm just gonna pull out, it's just this crabgrass really. I've got a container here all my weeds are gonna go into. I'm actually gonna give a lot of this to the bunnies, so I'm gonna try not to take any of the soil with it, because get the roots out but not get a lot of soil, because we know soil is not cheap. These beds are doing okay as far as the crabgrass goes, but I think anywhere I disturbed like the actual clay soil that's like underneath the beds over in like in the front garden, I'm noticing that that's where I'm getting a lot of the weeds, like stirring up whatever weeds. But I've kept after this pretty well, and of course it's well planted with the corn, so the grass isn't doing quite as much. We don't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to take the like edge off, It's when you let weeds go too far, when they get out of hand, that it becomes overwhelming. It's kind of like any chore, I guess. If it goes crazy, then it feels like I can never do this. It's just too much. But if I find if it's just a few little weeds, it's like I just come in here, I just pull these little guys out, the bunnies eat it, it's all gonna come back to the garden in bunny poop form. These are interesting beds. They're like, basically because I took the raised bed portion off of them, now they're just a mound, like a central mound of like logs and stuff, and then we've got the actual plants on, or like soil and plants on top of that mound. Originally I was thinking like, oh, probably next year I'll take these beds out, but I'm kind of starting to like them. And so I don't know what I'll end up doing, if I'll try to like put some sort of a border around them or just let them kind of be like mounded in-ground beds. I guess we'll have to see what this weed pressure does over the season. If the weeds get too crazy, then it might not be worth it. Or it might be worth it to actually replace them with raised beds again, or build something up. We'll see. Some of this little corn looks an awfully lot like the grass, but it's not. There we go. That grass has bugs on it, so I'm just gonna throw it in the walkway. I do like with the grass walkways that when I weed, I can just like, if I want, I can just throw the weeds down into the walkway. It makes no difference. You know, every walkway has certain maintenance, but that's honestly kind of nice. This bed here, I think I'm just gonna take the soil and everything probably and reuse this little bed, this one. I've got a couple Earthwalker sunflowers that are sort of trying to do their thing, but I didn't put a lot of soil on that bed, and so once I took the border from around it, then it's drying out really quickly. It's not really doing much. Okay, that was not too bad. That was really not too hard at all. I got that mostly weeded. Again, not perfect, but like mostly weeded. So that's pretty good. It is the front garden that is in really bad shape. So I've got to like brace myself to go do that. All right, let's just knock it out. This is the worst bed here. I also need to tie up this tomato and the rose. Uh-oh, my twine fell out of my pocket. Here we go. Let's tie this up. Same thing. Just gonna use twine. These are Juliet tomatoes as well. I like to keep it loose so that they're not gonna like rub or tear it on. Well, I am sweating so much from weeding all the beds. I got it almost all weeded, but look, a harvest of green beans. Now, there's still a lot of baby green beans on here, so I think I still have more, but this is just a reminder that I need to plant a lot more green bean plants if I want to get like a big harvest. Although this is cool. I mean, I love this, and there's still, like you can see, tons of babies all over here. So we're gonna get more. This is a yellow green bean, so it's supposed to look that kind of like yellow color. And I need to get some stakes out here and do these tomato plants. But yeah, that's just one row, like a 6-foot row of green beans, and this is what we got. So I need to plant more. I'm also gonna dig in here. There are these potatoes that I planted and they died back, which should be a sign that they are done. I don't know. Yeah, this is what I thought. They'd be tiny like that. I'm still gonna dig them up because the plants are done. Maybe we'll have to have like a mini fingerling potato meal. They're not supposed to be this small. I suppose if I leave any in the ground, they might re-sprout. I doubt I'm gonna get all of these potatoes out of here. Oh, here's one that's a little bit bigger. That's exciting. Potatoes out of the garden are so good. My goal was to try to to grow some and then also keep some as seed potatoes. So I may, I don't know, like leave some of them in here. And see if we get some fresh, or some of them to re-sprout. Oh, look at this plant. Okay. Here's a couple good ones. All right, let's see. I think that's all of them. I think there's probably some little guys left, but I'm just gonna put a few of these back in. I think we have enough time before the next frost, and see if they, let's do the little ones. See if they sprout. See if we get more potatoes. Gotta work on my potato growing. But I think, yeah, maybe we'll get some more. This is the other bed where I have potatoes that are dying back. And, oh, I think that's the seed potato. Oh my gosh. I did not expect that. That's a full potato. I think this is still the seed potato that sprouted. Look at you. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. I'm definitely gonna do more potatoes next year. That's awesome. So chop and drop. I'm just gonna leave this in here. And then I wonder if I could do another round of potatoes over here. Probably not. We'll probably just do more potatoes in this bed next year. I've got asparagus over here in this bed, so maybe I'll switch it to a different bed. I do need to replant something in here though for the fall, for like the second half of the year. I didn't think about how potatoes would be done so quick, so I need to think of something else to go in this bed. Oh my gosh, I am so hot and sweaty. It's not even sunny out, but it's just that residual humidity. I think we have a thunderstorm coming in. Well, they keep saying we have a thunderstorm coming in at some point. But look at this harvest. Oh my gosh. That's like a decent little potato. So what I think I'm gonna do with the potatoes is I am gonna eat some. I'm gonna cook a few. And then the other ones I'm gonna save. I'm gonna cook a couple and then I'm gonna save a few as well and try to store them down. Our basement stays pretty cool. It's certainly not like root cellar level, but it's definitely, you know, much cooler than the rest of the house. It stays pretty chilly. I think I'm gonna start working on storage, like just practicing that kind of storage situation, because I would love, oh my God, look how sweaty I am. I would love to have my own seed potatoes, my own seed garlic, and even, I guess seed garlic, and then figure out how to save seeds for onions and be able to kind of, and corn, and be able to kind of grow those like basic staple food crops. I would like to get to a point where I feel very comfortable saving the seeds and like saving the seeds, storing, and then replanting from my own stock. I think it would be kind of fun eventually. Not that I'm gonna get into like plant breeding, but I think it's kind of cool how the plants start to adapt to the particular location that they're in. So it would be kind of fun to have like our own recluse garden, you know, zinnia, potato, tomato, like whatever cross-pollinated thing, whatever we can kind of like get going but kind of just have some seeds that I continue to grow every year so I can kind of have like those basic food crops. It's not that I really feel like a major need to have food security. I don't feel like I actually have enough growing space that I'm really doing any kind of a like serious farming or providing fully food for my home, but it's just the thought of like being able to have those skills, and that those skills aren't lost, and then I can pass that on to my daughters. Like, I come from a really long line of farmers. Most of the people in my family were farmers. A lot of them still are corn farmers in Ohio. And I like the thought that, you know, back in the day, like, people just grew gardens and saved seeds and knew how to do it. And so I just want to be able to do it, like, to know how to do it. So that's pretty cool. That's really fun. I'm gonna try to figure that out, and look at that little harvest. I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So now I need to also, like, that just cleared out a bunch of space, especially in that one bed is like almost completely empty. I need to go look at my seeds and decide, oh my gosh, my eyes, decide what I want to plant up there. I may go ahead and try to do another round of summer squash up there, because I don't know why I can't get my summer squash plant. Like, I haven't even been able to get a zucchini plant to get past like 3 or 4 sprouts. So now that we're into full summer, I mean, like, look at how much I'm sweating. The summer heat is here, so maybe the zucchinis will do better. So I'm gonna try to plant some more zucchini seeds and see if I can't get that figured out. That would be super cool. To have some zucchini this summer from the garden. I would love it. But wow, I'm just like so surprised. I saw those potatoes like dying out there, and I just was like, oh, there's gonna be nothing in the ground, but there wasn't. I also had some sweet potato slips that I ordered in the mail. I kind of like stuck them in the ground. I wasn't exactly sure what was happening with them, but they were kind of looking, when I was out there weeding, I kind of took a peek at them, and they were actually looking like they were kind of starting to do something too. So that would be cool. Well, anyways, I'm gonna head inside now and take a shower because I feel so sweaty. Oh my gosh. At least I got that done. I got the weeding done. The heat takes it out of you. I've been trying to stay indoors, but even just a little bit that I've been outside, I feel like it makes you so tired. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go hydrate as well. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again